Radio does some things really well. It does creates desire, it keeps brands top of mind, and it makes a product or service relevant to a specific consumer at a specific time or of day of the week. What it doesn't do well is communicate lots of tiny details and intricate product features and things like that. Radio's not good at that sort of thing, and that sort of stuff gets lost. Remember, the listener's already doing something else at the same time. We need to make it about them. We need to make it them feel something. And we need to bear that in mind when we take a TV campaign, for example, and then try and bring that onto radio. So when the starting point for me, whenever we have a client that's got a TV campaign that wants to bring it on, extend it onto radio, the criteria is we look at radio and making that message relevant. TV is great at broadcasting a broad message across to everyone, making everyone aware of it to a degree. Radio is where you drive that message home to one listener at a time on that station, that you know what they're doing at that time, and pretty much what that audience demographic is going to be. So you can be very targeted on radio. I'll give you an example. This is a TV commercial for Quit Victoria, which was an anti-smoking ad. And the ad was running for 2 weeks, and they found some extra budget and they wanted to take it onto radio. You've all heard that before? So I'll play the TV ad and then we'll talk about why the TV ad wouldn't work on radio.
Lungs are made up of millions of tiny air sacs. Chemicals in tobacco smoke destroy them. It's called emphysema, and it's irreversible. Even if you only smoke low-tar cigarettes, chances are you have emphysema in its early stages. Just about every smoker does. Call Quitline, 131-848.
Okay, so it's quite a powerful ad visually, that acrid smoke, and you all got all these smokers squirming in their chairs now. You wait till you hear the radio. But that tone of voice is not right for radio, in my opinion. Listeners listen to their station because of it's familiar, it feels like a friend, it's a companion, and they don't want that heavy tone of voice. First thing, they don't want to do just one packet of cigarettes. If you heard that and you're a smoker, the first thing you're probably going to do is zone out. Because I don't want my friend the radio to talk to me like that. That's my mother, or my mother-in-law, or my wife. But that's the tone of voice that I don't want that from my radio. And if you're not a smoker and you hear just one packet of cigarettes, then you're going to zone out as well because it's not relevant to you. So the starting point for me was when the agency came back with that ad. I said, how can we get the listeners involved in the ad before they knew it was an ad about smoking? And so we talked about the different approaches, and he recounted a conversation he'd had with the medical advisor about what it's like to have emphysema. Now you can actually make that sort of thing. You can get that same sensation yourself. And I said, you've just read the ad. So that was the starting point, and this was the ad that we made.
I'm going to do a little demonstration, and I want you to do it with me. Right. Take a deep breath, deep as you can, and hold it. Now, take another breath on top of it. You won't be able to take much in. Breathe out just that last bit. And breathe in again. Out. In. This is what breathing is like in the latter stages of emphysema. Sufferers describe it as feeling like you're suffocating 24 hours a day. Even if you only smoke a few low-tar cigarettes a day, if you ever get short of breath, it's almost certainly because you have emphysema in its early stages. Just about every smoker does. So now you know what lies ahead. Take a deep breath and call Quitline 131-848. 131-848.
Thank you. So an ad like that comes on the radio. It draws you in, and before you know it, you're doing all that. And without you realizing, you've just done a bit of a self-medical test, really. You've just found out whether actually you've got emphysema, or what it's like to have emphysema. Now, the TV ad was like that was happening there. That was being broadcast on my TV to the people in the room. The radio ad was talking to me. That's the difference between radio and TV. And whenever you're taking an ad campaign from TV to radio, that's what you should be looking to use radio for. That's the role, to make the message relevant. Because radio is brilliant at doing that. And if that's your starting point, then you've got a very, very high chance of the campaign being a huge success. That TV campaign, as I said, ran for 2 weeks on its own, then the radio kicked in. Call rates to quit line increased by 125% after the radio kicked in. So it really resonated. TV did its job well, it kind of set it up, and radio drove it home.